you have to, with Google, you have to buy either download add-on. So you know that little puzzle piece at the top of your Google, that is an add-on. And so with Google, you have to do add-ons. So I'm going to talk about all of these and what it would look like. And so the biggest thing about AI is that they are tools. They are improving over time. What I've seen, at least from my experience for the past 5 years, is that it's gotten better. It still can make up stuff. But the stuff it makes up now, it sounds completely real. Like, really, you have to go back and ask you, where did you get this from? And it will tell you, if you ask, well, on average, based off research, this is what I see. So it may have pulled from the internet, which is about 9 months to a year behind what we're actually seeing now, or just completely make it up. So you have to be mindful of that. It can process large amounts of information, but we're going to talk about later. Be mindful of what information you put up there. If this is your baby, and if you want to make it proprietary, and you want to make sure you can earn money off of it, I would suggest, and we're going to talk about that, what's the limit that you put into some of this AI platforms. It's a very good complement to human intelligence and creativity. I especially love it when I work with, as myself, I have adult ADHD. My brain runs millions miles a minute. Right now, I'm already thinking about what I got to do tomorrow. And still talking to you all at the same time. But I've noticed with working with youth, who natural creators are those who have a hard time verbalizing. I just cut on the microphone, just talk. And then transcribe it, and then you can drop it in there. It can be a really good tool to complement your creativity. I have a lot of ideas, and sometimes I just cut on my microphone and chat and just say, I have all these ideas for blogs, walk me through it, and help me flesh out the topic so I can start writing. And I rarely write, I dictate most of my blogs. And then I drop it in there. And I'm like, tell me what I can fix, girl. So my chat is the girl, because we talk to each other. But again, it can be a compliment to my humanness, my dopeness as a creator. And you can use it as a way to enhance what you may feel are limitations. And a lot of times it may be because you haven't tried it or you haven't tested it out yet. Now, it's not going to replace human judgment. It can and will make mistakes. I also serve as a dissertation chair at Barnard University and ACU, and I'm telling you, a lot of students are getting in trouble when they gotta write their papers and do their homework. And I keep reminding them, it has to be a thought partner. You have to use AI as a thought partner, or use it as a dissertation chair. You can say, hey, this is here, my dissertation chair gave this. Can you take over her persona and tell me what she was trying to say to me? Can you take on the persona of a copy editor? And so we're going to talk about personas versus, can you write this for me? The thing is that oftentimes that I tell students, you can let it write it, but when it comes down to now you have to defend it. So then you have to defend your dissertation, or you have to do a pitch for your business. It's very hard to do that when you let AI create everything for you. It can be expensive depending on what you buy. Free. Before you even buy anything, if they don't offer at least a free subscription to it, just go with something different. And we're going to have a whole list of options for you all that we're going to talk about. So, hot topic. What do you think about, I want to briefly talk about and get some of you all's thoughts about AI for storytelling and cultural branding. How have you all used AI to tell your story? What does it look like?
On-the-job insights, so clients have talked about experiences, but then I'll leverage Claude in conjunction with my experiences to help with some of the finer details and some of the technical implementations we do.
I like that. So what field?
Data analytics.
Yeah. I like y'all that all at the same time.
Yeah.
Got it?
I used to be in the office as far as project management. It helped me plan that whole outreach retreat so we can put together our framework and how we will be operating.
I love it for planning retreats. Okay. It's a DC. Anybody else how is using it?
I use it for program development, and when it comes to training development for what I do in the diaspora, and I love it. And it helps me to collect the data, analyze the data, and then create the program according to the need.
you ever been in a situation where you wanted to apply for a grant or apply for something, you're like, I don't know if I can do this, and you just kind of sit on it versus
Talk to me.
now let's figure out how you can build your narratives.
Yes, this is good.
If you use AI, I use my chat so much that if I ask chat right now, who is Dr. Shante Goldberg, she would say like, girl, she is.
I know, right.
But if you use it enough, it picks up on your nuances, it picks up on your personality, it picks up on the type of work that you do. But more so, it can be very helpful in building a consistent brand, your brand voice. And for some of us, we are jacks and jackals of all trades. I don't just do one thing. And one of the first things I struggle with as a new business owner is, what's my niche? And so my coach was like, you don't have much, okay? Your background is too wide and varied to just choose one. And so figuring out what my brand voice and what my brand would be has been a struggle because I don't just do one thing. I teach. I do curriculum development. I do strategic planning. I do coaching. You name it, I've dabbled with it or I've done it. And so it's been very hard to figure out what my voice is. And so working with Ms. Lisa to build my website, it's been a struggle. Because she's like, just tell me, what do you want up here? And it's been hard to figure out what it is, and we finally came to a good place. That's why on the first page, you see my Canva site that's up now, and then the link for the new site is up there too, because it's coming. But it can be very hard to figure it out. And so oftentimes figuring out what your brand voice is, you can use AI to say, hey, this is what I do or want to do. Can you help me figure out how I build this into an elevator pitch, how I can target the people that I want to go for? How do I elevate and go for customers in a different socioeconomic status? So I came in working with small business owners, and now I want to go for the C-suite and get the corporate contracts. I want to be on retainer and not do contracts. I want to be able to say, like, so one of my coaches went to a workshop, and one lady only does, she doesn't do contracts anymore. She only gives 5-year contracts, but it's based off their residual of her being in there. And so I was like, wait a minute, so she don't do a year contract anymore, she said minimum 5. That's right. And it goes up every year. And by the 5th year, it has doubled. I was like, I need to meet this person quickly. Because again, in my mind, it seems so, I won't say far-fetched, it just seems hard to think about being able to get to that level. But one of the things she talked about was knowing where you are, owning that time and space, but also building for the future. And to be on retainer and have a contract like that, and that's all you take in, you can actually plan. You can hire your team, and you've already built in. And so that has been very helpful to learn how people have used AI to build that brand, to build authentic narratives. And oftentimes, I will say, we are our worst critic, and we do not hype ourselves up enough. So if I ask some of you all how dope you are, you're like, well, okay. And so a lot of times, using AI can help you figure out how to tell a more robust story. So some tangible wins. So some tangible wins on how AI can help you. So with that, let's talk about competing on the bigger stage. Oftentimes, companies who are more seasoned in doing this work, they already built their brand, they know their story, they already have some really nice templates for how they go out and do pitches. Or they already hired folks to come in and build that for them, so it's copy, paste, repeat. Copy, paste, repeat. Wow, everything is new for small businesses, so being able to compete on a bigger stage has been very helpful for me. My templates that I've been able to build out or buy, and that's another thing I'll share with you all, has been really good. It can also help boost efficiency. Some of these tasks, so when I apply for RFPs, so it could be like, I'm looking for a grant writer, I'm looking for somebody to come in and do strategic planning, someone to come and do coaching. Here's the request for a proposal, RFP. Sometimes they're small, and sometimes they're big. They're 30 pages. And that means my proposal will be minimally, probably at least 15. And so, how do I use AI to boost efficiency? Well, I built my GPT to crank out all the core pieces. in, I don't mind even showing y'all my GPT. Y'all gonna be like, wow. Now that the new ChatGPT has the project folders, I've been able to now build out project folders for all my work. It's been helpful. So anytime I'm going in to do stuff just for EIS over innovative solutions, I just go to the folder and build it there. Versus early on, it was just, now I got to go and find where I started. So it's been easier now that with the paid plan. So $20 a month, that's my Starbucks. For there.
Exactly.
But what would you say in terms of time for small businesses?
To start out?
Like the time that they would have to, before they can start really reaping the benefits of the shortcut?
I mean, the immediate benefits are immediate. So even if you don't have all your boilerplates filled out in your templates, for that one project, for that one thing you're doing, it's going to work for them. Because you can go back and say, you can tell Chat to say this as part of your history. You can say, please say this and remember this. So if I'm writing grants for a certain company, I may say, please don't use any DEI language anymore. Please only emphasize this. Like, I can tell it to do that now. It will remember it about 60% of the time. It still may put stuff in there and I got to go back and pull it out. But it will remember now with some of the new. And the update on Chat and for Microsoft Copilot, they now have they're in the 5th generation, and I'm like, I'm not even going there yet. Because I like where I'm at. I mean, my comfort zone. Now, I will say, I have tested out that GPT-5, and it has a lot more reasoning and thinking. So if I want to do something on my more academic side, if I'm writing for that, then I'll probably use that. And that's the whole purpose of those different levels.
When you were talking about grants a few minutes ago, so you can get around, get away from the plagiarism, what did you say the prompt, like to ask what to?
So I'm gonna actually show you the
Oh,
prompts for grant writing. They're already in the phone for you.
Oh,
I already have time. So if you already clicked on the QR code, the prompts for grant writing are up there.
okay.
And if you go to what I did last time, there's templates up there already on how to build out your proposals. I have proposal templates that I put in there for you all.
Oh, okay.
So,
Thank you.
sharing is caring.
I have a question in common. So when we talked about the brand and how to use AI for our brand, and you talk about that authentic narrative. So the other day I just made a comment on LinkedIn, like, AI content is so boring because you're starting to identify, this is AI, this is prompting. It's the difference between reading a book and prompting a book. So what I've noticed, and please verify if it's true, in order for AI to help us with our brand, we got an input.
Input.
We
I mean, the cut on the microphone and chat, it just starts
let them talk, let them feel you, because then that way they can analyze and then help us with our consistent brand, but without that input.
Yes, so talk. And again, we can do some tests. You got chat on your phone.
Yes, so no, I don't have it on my phone.
Download it on your
Okay, let me do that. I have it on my laptop only.
But the atmosphere is good. Because guess what, right? I'm at football practice, soccer, basketball, 14 and 7. I'm outside. And so with that, I can put on the app, have it on my phone, and if something can be going through, and I'm like, hey, can you remember this? Or I just had this thought. I'm gonna come back to it. And then when I come back to it, my favorite thing to ask you is, this is my idea. Help me flush this out. And then ask me questions to get clarity before you give me what I'm asking for. And so I go between, I got my academic side, I got my, professional side, non-academic, common language, doing the work, and then I got my spiritual side, I got the faith-based work, spiritual work too. So I have to be mindful which lane I'm in, and sometimes all my lanes are in one. And so I'll crank out my blog and I'll say, you know what, this doesn't feel like me. I really want this to be the biggest thing. I really want to focus in on wholeness and wellness this time. And I don't want to be surface level. I said, so I'll put there, step on their toes.
Yeah. See,
I
I
feel uncomfortable when they read this. I gave you what I wanted, but I feel like I missed. I would say, I gave you this, but I feel like it's missing something. Ask me some clarifying questions, and let's do this again. And then start asking me questions.
yes.
Thought partner. I can't call my twin. She in Utah, 2 hours behind. So if I need somebody who I can talk it out with, hubby busy, sister busy, mama on the floor, running 3 doctor's offices, I can't get nobody on the phone. So who can I talk to? So I'm going to look at it from that perspective of asking these questions. For those who are already out in the field working with clients, Gemini or Copilot or Claude, is there anything I should have asked in this conversation that could make you better prepared for my pitch? Is there any, again, use it as a partner. And so he gave the example about being out there with clients. Sometimes when they're talking and you're trying to take notes, you will miss something. So just ask and say, hey, do you mind if I record this conversation? Zoom already has it built in. I use Google Meet. Google Meet already has it built in. And the thing I love about Google Meet is by the time you hit the recording, it'll put it in your folder. It'll give you the full transcript, and then it'll give you a second tab, a summary.
It's cool.
Yes. And when I'm coaching clients, I just tag on it. Here's your notes. Here's the summary. And I add another tab. Here's your homework.
Yeah, there you go.
And so, again, making things easy so that way I don't have to be up all night. So this is what we talked about. And this is what I want you to work on now. And I don't have to do any of that. I already have everything there. Some other things. We already use scheduling pieces. COVID taught us how to use scheduling AI, and I hope you're using it for your benefit. I have so many calendars, so another example of automated scheduling is you got your poll for your calendar, and then I bought Calendly. So all my calendars go up to one, and my booking link is the front facing for all my calendars. So my university from teaching, my personal, my sister had our business, so all my calendars go to one, and so that when people try to book, they only get to see the front facing calendar and not 6 different calendars. So a good thing about scheduling is that those are things that are there. And then my favorite, and I'm working on it, automated responses to emails. I am so sick and tired of all these people asking me to buy their product. And so I'm working on some automation so when it comes in my inbox, it just automatically says thank you, but no thank you. You guys walking like I'm working on it. I get at least 5 a week of, hey, I see that this is your business. Are you open to doing this? I'm like, no. And so again, data entry and bookkeeping, a lot of QuickBooks has AI built into it. So when I connected my business account, it helps me go in and I now can tag and bag, was this for business, was this personal, was this part of travel? And so there's a lot of things that we're already using for business already have AI built into it. If you use SpellCheck, that's AI. Grammarly, SpellCheck, those things are already up there. And so what I love about data entry is if you use AI for basic data entry, I will say make sure the data that you drop into AI is not private. You may want to use fake numbers or something like that, and we'll talk about that. So, how to choose the right tool. Number 1, money. I didn't want to buy products that would cost me an arm and leg, and I wanted to make sure I could try it out first. There's some AI tools that I tested that I was like, this is not going to work for me, especially for graphic design. So one of the first PowerPoint AI methods I bought was Pop AI, and it works pretty decent. They have their own AI generation like ChatGPT, and that's initially for the 2 years prior, that's what me and my sister used for our business was Pop AI. And it works. And then ChatGPT got better, we let go of that subscription, and then Gamma came along. And that's what I do all my PowerPoints in. And so, testing things out, you may see that there's products out there that work better for you, and then just ask people, like, hey, what are you using? And if they're open to it, like, can I come over and test it out and see before I buy it, if they don't have the test trial run. There are also, again, the problem first approach, looking at AI tools based on what's your problem and what can it solve. I needed something that can help me build out my business plan. I knew what I wanted to do, but trying to create the business plan and creating all of my documents to get started, I needed help to do all those pieces. When my website was being built, she wanted all my content. I have no content. So using AI helped me build out all the content that I needed to help build out the framework of the business. So, Think about your biggest pain point. You don't have to tell me what's your biggest pain point right now that you believe could be helped with AI. Right now. Because that will help you kind of navigate. Do you want to just get something plain like ChatGPT? Do you do a lot of presentations like I do? There's a lot of presentation makers with AI. They are not all equal. They're not. I would say from Pop AI, there's presentation maker, another 10 different ones. My opinion, Gamma is the best for a couple reasons. One, they are constantly updating their platform, and they actually listen to the people who subscribe. Just like Google has a section where you can give suggestions of what you want Google to do, change the name to Workspace or regular Google. Gamma does too. And so you can go up there and you can see how many people upped a comment like, hey, we want you to be able to do this in Gamma. And next thing you know, announcement came out, now you're able to do this in Gamma. I was like, okay, I can dig it. As the investor of this product, I need something, and now they're working to make sure it gets done. So I have seen since I've gotten it in the past 5 months, the biggest wins, the biggest updates, like even this header right here wasn't an option 2 months ago. So they're putting in more work to make sure you have more options. The charts, the graphs that you can do now, awesome. I would always build my charts and my graphs, pie charts and something else, and then make it a picture and put it over. Not anymore. So now Gamma has a better graphics and components for building out charts, pie charts, all those type of things. So it's constantly upgraded. And my favorite, I love AI photos.
Oh, yeah, honey.
But I don't like the extra finger and the eye that ends up being over here in some of the AI and graphic makers. I have less of that in Gamma. They have about 7 different AI platforms built in, depending on which tier, free, medium, and high tier. And so their AI automation is great, and then they just added stock photos. So if you don't even want to go through that, they'll put some stock photos. I will say, from you testing out other AI graphic makers, the pictures for diverse communities and youth are really good. One of the things I hate is really wonky. Like, they don't even look like they really playing it. It just looks kind of, it's AI. And then looking for different shape sizes and identities. It's very hard to say plus size woman and she doesn't look like drastically more obese, but more so my size. And so when I say plus size 18, it looks like a plus size 18. So I've seen better outcomes when I'm trying to get diverse pictures with Gamma than I've seen with other AI. And that's important to me because if I can't look like myself in AI, then why would I want to use it? So, let's talk about grant writing and funding research projects. You can use any AI to search for grants. I have not procured foundation grants, so that's a whole different tool, and then we use instrumental now to find grants. But prior, coming on board, now doing this grant writing thing full time, finding grants, I did the old school way, Google and AI. You can use those things for in a couple ways. You can say, hey, I found this grant. One, is it real? Second favorite question. Who are they giving to? So let's say you can't get your hands on your 990. If they're corporate or nonprofit, 990 is just their tax document. But you want to know who have they given to in the average year. So you don't want to ask for $50,000, they don't give out more than 10. Which you can do because you don't know. And so using AI without using some of the things that I've not been able to get into. But early on, I was just using regular AI. Help me find grants for, what do you do?
Sign, director, and graphic design.
So, find me grants or RFPs for graphic design. Because you can apply for contracts as a graphic designer, because there's people who are looking for graphic designers that they can hire through your request for proposal. Especially since we don't have to be boots on the ground. Find me grants for starting a nonprofit, find me grants for this, and then you got to keep asking those questions to help you find grants. Now, again, grants.gov is easy and free, but those are federal grants. Those are big babies. Unless you are leaning toward nonprofit and doing that type of work, grants.gov is not going to be your website for grants. But you can use basic Google, and you can use Chat, GPT, Claude, Microsoft Copilot to search for grants. I always ask you to provide a website link, if possible, or where to find it.
So when you say federal grants are big grants?
Federal grants, I mean the amount of work to write it and the amount of paperwork to maintain it. So you get a $1.24 million grant, you know you got some work to go with it. That means you usually have a monthly or bi-monthly meeting, some type of technical assistance. There has to be an evaluation, sustainability plan. Get this money, how do you sustain it when the money went out?
Right.
So those grants are not 4 or 5 pages. And oftentimes the grant may look easy, but your appendices is your evidence that you can do the work. And new companies, new nonprofits often don't have those receipts yet. So your application looks good, but your appendices, your documents to prove that you can do the work, is slim. And again, grants.gov is not bad. I would say you can still go there just to see. But if you are just doing small base work, I would say look at there maybe once a week. And so things for you to look for. One of the things I would say within the grant discovery, it can be helpful to narrow it down. So you want to be specific in the prompts. I'm looking for grants for this industry that's coming up in the next 90 days. So that way it doesn't give you grants that's already passed.
That's right.
From 22, 23, 24, because it will. You or you just missed the deadline. Yeah, if you just missed the deadline, what do you do with that information?
Next year.
Put it on your calendar. That's what I do. Oh, I just missed it, then go and put it on my calendar.
Next year.
I'll book it for next year. So if you're okay with that, this would be a good way to look for grants. One thing that's happening in the grant world right now is that you're seeing more multi-year grants. That was in the news the day before yesterday. More multi-year grants, and the amount of grant money going out is going down, but the amount being given is bigger. So instead of giving out 50 grants, they may give out 25, and there's a bigger amount coming out. And multi-year. So that's what they're saying.
It's more sustainable.
Yes. Also, the grants coming down from our current administration have just started going live the past 45 days. Without any type of technical services, any type of contracting work, any type of work dealing with workforce, development, subsidies, all those grants were paused. They're now coming back live.
Workforce development center?
Oh yeah, definitely. Co-worker is trying to think yesterday. 30 million is coming down.
Hallelujah.
For workforce development, but it's going to go through state agencies, and the state agencies will disseminate grants. So what you see is either Franklin County, you'll see Columbus, or your local subsidiaries who do workforce development. They'll be putting out a grant. So that money is on grants.gov. You can go there now. It closes in September. $30 million. It's only it'll say that it was
One big one or
dispersed. It says 30 million totals being dispersed.
Okay.
It's only going to say agencies. Now, what if you say like, I don't want to do workforce development? Those workforce development can be helpful for small businesses because they will help you bring on help. So I went to a boot camp on Monday, and I was there taking notes, and the guy was just like, so how do you all need help? Because I was like, and he was like, so you all need to go ahead and start working on your business plan and your pitch and be able to say, I want to help build a pipeline for this career. And I want to be able to be a site. I don't have the money to pay them. Workforce development will pay you to pay them.
Yes.
And so the biggest thing that came out of that was, well, I don't know how to write that proposal. I was like, Chad, I was nice. But that and internships, having paid internships. That's workforce development. Everything now with this new 30 million is AI, tech. Somebody got it back
That's
here?
funny.
Yes. Also healthcare, and then, technology when it comes to, the tech maritime. So that is cars, trucks, planes,
Autonomous vehicles.
yeah. So, I saw that in you see it. Yeah, it just came out, but if you go to the Department of Labor website and just read that press release up there. I just read it yesterday. So, when I think about grants, I want you all to think about, don't just think about, well, I'm looking for a grant for this. Sometimes your grants is for capacity building, and workforce development will be the way for you to build capacity.
Yes, honey.
And that is something that I don't think we often think about. It's like, well, I've never had an intern, I've never had somebody work. The work is there, because now you have to build out something to teach somebody to do what you do in your sleep.
Yes.
That's what you use AI for. So I want an intern or I want an entry-level position that can come in and do this part of this job, and it's tied to this part of workforce development. So going up there to see what they're saying they're looking for, it's all up there. You can really click on it, and the PDF is like 60 pages. They lay out, the administration lays out what they think to be necessary skills.
Department of
AI,
Thank you.
AI, data, graphic design, all that's to do with technology and how we share our story. The goal is to make us still, and make, well, I don't think we're the number one country in the world anymore, but to get back there.
Yes.
That's the whole goal for it. So think about your work and how you can build a pipeline to do that work.
I have a question. So I do all this work, but I know that a lot of these grants are local, I mean, or within the states. But I do a lot of work internationally. So when we talk about identifying the grants to track GPT, what would be the best prompt to allow me to search for?
Two different ones.
So two international grants.
You'll look for grants that allow you to do international work. They don't normally post in the same hub. So you'll see a grant like for instrumental, it'll say nationwide.
Yeah.
But when you, it's a button that says international. So literally, it's a separate search piece.
So Infram is actual.
Yes, I use instrumental to search for grants.
Okay.
And I love it because it gives me all the business. And I don't have to now find a 990, when the last time I gave, who they offered to give to. So that is, for me, worth a lot. And I have to do that because that took so much time. I had to hire somebody to do that. Just so that way when I pitch grants to the companies that have hired me on as a grant writer, I want to make sure that when I pitch this grant, I knew that there was a good likelihood that at least it would be reviewed. I didn't say they would get it.
Right, there's be reviewed.
Reviewed.
And that's great marketing.
Yeah.
When people at least see your grant and they hear about your
Yeah. So grant writing is not a I apply for it, I get it. Grant writing is if you start at none, then you apply for 1 grant a month. For companies, nonprofits who apply for grants and have consistent grants, their goal is to increase by 20% in 1 fiscal year. That means you apply for 20% more grants. Not saying you're going to get it, but oftentimes you can't get what you're going to apply for. And money is dried up. So for grants that just came out from the city and from Franklin County, they had a 35% increase in applicants. So now the competition is hard. So when I'm applying for grants, all right, my last question, this is my proposal. Take on the persona of Franklin County, whatever, department. What will make does my grant stand out? Does my grant proposal stand out compared to others? That's usually the whole thing is done. I drop that ad, go back in there, the PDF, just to stand out. Am I missing something? Can I add within my character limit something else to make it stand out? If I don't have enough data to prove why this is successful, give me some examples of how I can talk about best practice and how the work that I do is a best practice or an informed practice. Informed practice means just that you've been researched for over a decade and proven. But there's enough people use it to see if it can work. So oftentimes things that are new and novice, hasn't had 10 years of data to back it, is not considered best practice. I hate that term, but now I'm seeing a little academic to you all. Because in some grants they want you to use best practices or they want you to use curriculum that's already oftentimes, depending on the audiences you are working with, that curriculum may not be great for the Americans. Those English is a second language because it wasn't created for them.
Exactly.
So you want to be able to say, my curriculum is built around best practices such as data-informed practices or cultural competency because we have catered to this community.
That's right.
It still encompasses best practice. We didn't just make it up. But it has been proven they don't make this a best practice programs or curriculum. But it aligns to it. So sometimes using AI is right to share what you're doing, even though it's considered being nice. I love that for when I talk to business owners, like, how do I prove what I'm doing works? You already know it works, but there's using those data to back it. So my favorite thing is let's figure out how to share it too.
Yeah.
Next question on chat, let's benchmark. Show that all the people doing similar work across the country.
Yes,
I
okay.
promise you not the only ones, you just don't know. So think about the questions you can ask chat when you're doing these pieces. Is it making sense now? Don't be your worst enemy and automatically like, I can't apply for this, I can't write this, I don't have enough data, I haven't had enough customers. Listen, my number one rule is always apply. What is it gonna hurt? What happens if you get? Yes, ma'am.
I have about 5 questions.
I'm listening, I'm gonna do some more. Go.
I have questions for my business and I have questions for my daughter's business.
Mm-hmm.
She is sick, so she couldn't come today. I have a website that I needed to know if I want to have, when I go on there, and I update things on the website, and I link it to job forms that I create and all that. Is there a way I can streamline my time? And how can I use ChatGPT to do that? In fact, several years ago, they asked me to beta test ChatGPT. And I thought, how do I do this here? Where do you go? But I remember years ago, I had done something with the software, and I called them to Microsoft Call and asked them about that, saying, you should have been able to do that with the software. I said, but I went into partitions and I did this and that in BIOS, and they were like, oh, that's how she did it. So
you actually gave us some
I did, and then a few months later, they came out with what I had done. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm a proponent of if you can do it, you can customize it, do it. But I'm also a proponent of how to maximize the use of my time. Because I found in business that I need that more than anything right now, because I have so many things coming at me. So I want to customize my website and include some of the processes that we have been talking about, scheduling and all of that. I know like Ariba has some things you can integrate. How can we use, do I just go research the internet and see what's out there, what apps are out there? Right now I bought a Microsoft 365 through GoDaddy. And then I just go on there and I pay it myself.
Yes,
But I found that that's time consuming.
it is. So, tip number one. Who doesn't have a website yet? Where you at? So, for those who don't have a website, the easiest one is probably to do the Canva. That's the easiest one. And there are templates for like $4 on Etsy. Go to Etsy, type in, I need a Canva website template for. I promise you it's going to be less than $5. Now, my website is on Wix, and then my sister's website is on Square. Same thing. You go right over to Etsy, type in XBTSY. Etsy. Then there's other websites that, I'm a Etsy fan, so all these things. They don't take a lot of money compared to some of the other platforms. They can work. Go ahead.
I will say too, I hired a Wix engineer on Fiverr to help build the baseline. Fiverr is a great place. It was $300, but it did a bang out job.
So I'm probably going to, now that I have the baseline for the website and I can go live with it, now I'm going to go to Fiverr to do my complete branding of the website, business cards and all that. I've narrowed it down to 6 people. Quite indecisive. But I love Fiverr. Fiverr gave me my sister's first website. we had WordPress, but WordPress is just too hard for us to keep up our sales, and I really crashed it. And I was like, my bad, sis. So we moved our website from WordPress to Square, and because the way the person goes to WordPress, we were able to buy a template that we liked in Square, and then we built it. So our sister website is in Square, my new website is in Wix. I got my template for $30.
I should say Striking is my best hidden secret for website. They're everything.
What's it called again?
Striking. And I know. I built with them. And all Striking, STRIKINGLY. That's my best kept secret. They just monthly. They do everything from the chat box when you go to your page to membership to build out. So amazing. Every time people see my website, I mean, of course, I'm a graphic designer, but it looks like I'm doing my thing. You know? Yeah, because even like those platforms, they're AI generated, but you still gotta have a creative mix to make it stand out. As templates are Striking, everybody getting $100 out the door. No, I'm saying STRIKINGLY. It allows you to build a membership site up to 100 already. So simple, everything you need. So dope, so simple. But if you need help using it, give my number and I'll walk you through it. I've been using it since they started. Striking, STRIKINGLY. It's kind of like, it makes it look like it's been really built, you know, like, like coded. You know?
Oh, like, so no coding, you don't have to do coding?
You don't have to do no coding, but they do most, it's already, it looks like it's coded. So many options, pretty dope.
Hold on, let me see, I see something in the chat. Oh, they asked, could I put that in the chat? Okay, spell it one more time.
Strikely.com, you can post, you can do everything one-stop shop there. You can purchase your things there. But with Strikely, if you want to have your emails, your personal emails, there's an upcharge. But if you want to do that, you can just incorporate it with Google Business and you can get it through Google Business.
Okay, and I like Google Business because they have different tiers.
But that's how you become searchable using Google Business.
So I've already addressed some common fears and misconceptions about AI. I think the most common thing I hear from people about AI is that they've never tried it, they're scared. But to try something new. I remember when we went from word processors to computers. Like, it has evolved.
That's exactly where I'm at. You know, it's the challenge of moving past that took forever for me to get to this internet stuff. You know, I'm just old school. Man, but I'm struggling with trying to how do I get started with AI. But, you know, I'm listening to y'all go through these workshops and the ideas, these concepts I'm hearing sound great. But I need to start at the kindergarten level.
First thing is, I'll say, if you already have a Microsoft account, then just use Copilot. If you have a Google account, Google no longer has the free Gemini, they're charging for it now, which I feel some type of way about, but you do Microsoft there, Microsoft account, Copilot. I like Microsoft Copilot. I feel it's more conversational in the language that they pick out. I feel it's more humanistic sometimes than ChatGPT. But figuring out which platform. ChatGPT is fine too, but just trying to figure it out. Start with one problem, one tool for 30 days. Do not just dive in and get too many different platforms and think that you're gonna one. So for me, it was we looked at GPT, start testing it out. I made my GPT and I learned how to do the post and everything, just watching YouTube videos. I would pause it, do every step. Pause it. That's how I built out my website. I got my UID on there so I can apply for government contracts. Like I literally had YouTube up, and I did each step as they needed to do. One step at a time. I didn't want to miss a step, I didn't want to do it wrong. So sometimes, as I'm a visual learner, I got two screens. So I had one screen and I'm like, okay, boom, next some things come easy, but some things did not come easy. So I'm a lifelong learner. Now, with responsible and safe use, how you integrate it. You want to be mindful not to put anything that is private or proprietary in there. So the reason why a lot of, I work with the mental health company, the reason why a lot of the trying medical records and health records have now started putting AI into it is so that they don't have to use something like a ChatGPT or Copilot, because it's already in the platform. So the EHR that they're using, Checkpoint, is rolling out their AI in their sandbox. It's part of their beta group, and I like that it's already in there. And so they made me come in, learn about how they, the AI that they're using will be in their EHR, and then I'll train the team on how to use it.
Could we do that? I mean, how do we get to a point where, okay, I know I can like beta test something, but how do we create that? I just want this whole program about the fact that the ChatGPT and those platforms exist as the face of what's actually behind generating these uses. So how can we as producers, business owners, build out our own AI?
That is a whole school. That is again, there's a I know people went to school for computer science and they talk in a whole different language. For me, I don't know. I think for those who are trying to get into building out their own platforms and startups, one thing I learned when they had these entrepreneurship things that money for startups for anything technology, they don't like to give money for it. That was what the reason they said. I was like, oh, they said trucking, and they said startups for technology. And I was like, why? They said technology grows so fast, and then drastically slows down. And so I think on that level, if you think about creating something, just being mindful that they say take your time, build it, and prove that it's going to be sustainable. For me, I look at things that's already pre-built. That's just easy for me. But I think there are people who have the idea, like the idea that you had it, they roll it out. Just have to figure out how you want to navigate that.
Because we have proprietary information. It's like I was a teacher for 15 years before I started my business 23 years ago. Well, there are things that we did to improve the outcomes for the students, and I'm like, well, we have all the tools now to automate some of the things that we do in the classroom and how we work together as staff. And I put together a program, and I've got the schematics in the program, but now I want to implement it. So copyright it, but then I want to build the AI to generate the tools that are in the plans and the schematics.
So that's to me, that's like the graphic piece on how you want the user experience, the experience of the AI, computer science versus engineering. What I would suggest is universities that have computer science programs. Those students will be at a different price point than somebody out here, and hiring a student to build that for you, and they use it as part of their portfolio. But yeah, that piece right there, I think is awesome. But that's that engineering piece that, that's beyond my capabilities. But if you want to get to that point, you're gonna have to hire somebody to do that. Now you may find somebody on Fiverr or some of the platforms that do build apps like that. There are people who do that, who build apps and things like that, but they now have apps that are no code apps. So it just depends on how you want to do it. Because what you're trying to do, you have to hire somebody to help build that out.
And then the last question that was from my daughter's business. Okay, she's gonna be selling spices. So right now she's building her website. Do we have to go on ChatGPT and just say, okay, what automation can we integrate with this, or is there a way to streamline that process as well, so we don't spend hours just searching for apps
Solidify.
Okay, Shopify is like millions of e-commerce, my business is on Shopify. It's easy, they already have templates, everything is built in.
I agree.
I mean, I went to a guy originally when I started my business, he referred me to Shopify as a small business entrepreneur. It's the easiest thing, templates are already there, just go to Shopify.
Yeah, before, I know she's trying to get a full website, but.
You can do it on Shopify.
Yeah, it's go ahead and start with Shopify.
Everything on Shopify.
I didn't do Shopify because mine is a service-based business, but if you sell me product, I would start right there.
Yeah.
And, and there's templates for Shopify with ACT, but I would start with what they already have available. I promise you, there's probably already something good that you can use. I don't believe in, starting over at all. Okay. So, we talked about bountiful sharing and data trust. Please read the fine print on anything you sign up for AI. Please. For me, it's very real big because they often say that whenever information goes there, it's out there. Forever and always. And so, again, as a business owner, like, who do I want to call myself up there? And as a person of faith, they may have the business idea, but they still not do it. So I don't put everything in there, but I'm also, cautious. Like, it is what it is. I'm sure I'm not the only one with this idea. What makes it unique is
You can make it private though.
you can make it private, but again, there's many things that have been stolen,
Right.
and people get access to files and things like that. And, nothing's 100% private.
Right.
Unless you have your own data warehouse that is yours. So again, you can try your best, but just be mindful of that. So you talked about some of your challenges, and so time management is one, customer engagement and growth limitations. These are the top ones that me and my accelerator group talked about. We was like, we just struggling with trying to do everything. How to stay engaged with customers. One of my coworkers said, I just hate answering all these emails. Then she on Instagram, she said, they be making some of the most weirdest comments and questions, and we just laughed about it because you grow the business and then you start getting itchy parts of the business that can be a headache. And so these are common things that we often see with businesses and business challenges. So I'm gonna get through these next couple of slides, and I want to see how I can switch over and pull up Jotform, ChatGPT, and all that, so we can build up. I'll let you know. Because what we're about to do is build out some AI components. So marketing, sales, finance, these are just examples that AI can help out with. But if you have ChatGPT Pro, open that up on your phone. For those who don't have it, I'm gonna walk you through and show you. But for those who don't, make you a Jotform account. While we sit here talking, because I'm gonna show you both. Jotform is free. I am a fan of Jotform. Their limits on what you get as part of the free is not low compared to some other ones. Like you only get, if you do a survey, Jotform only 10 responses. No, you get a decent amount of responses. They'll cut you off. And I am a fan of Jotform.
What about Google Forms? What do you think about that?
I mean,
Generic, is it kind of generic?
and you don't have enough templates.
The job for
Well, you gotta create it.
I know, but I don't want to do all that. I want to go into Jotform and look at 5 different templates.
what's it called?
Jotform, Jotform.
Can I put it to the same amount of time it takes to look for it, the same
No,
amount?
because I go in that search bar and I'm looking for, like, for the other company, I got these texts, and like, we need an incident reporting form. I went right to Jotform, I found 500
Okay.
incident reporting forms. Now I linked it down to medical. I chose 3. I'll go back and look at that one, and I already have the template because that I wrote, so I just make it.
Have the guy from Fiverr make your template, then you go to Adobe Professional and just fill up the form and it'll make it for you.
See, I'm not there yet.
Choose your intervention. Those are my favorite books for that. They're the books you can just choose. You got so many options. You can go A, B, or C. But there's options out there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you all how to make a GPT. So first, let's figure out prompts. I want to talk about how to build a prompt. I also have in that folder a whole prompt builder in Excel for you. It's already in the folder.
But our
Don't just say, make me a calendar. Most people say, can you do this? And it's like, well, that's not what I wanted. You really have to be specific. You want to set the format and define the tone and style. All that before you hit enter in your AI.
Tell me how to cuss this man.
Yeah, that's my favorite. This is what I wanted to say.
Tell me what to say.
Clean this up so I don't lose my job.
I know, right.
I wish I had that. I wish I had that. And I was still working. So, again, you want to define the context. Clearly state the background of the scenario. So you want to give it some context. I am working on. I am creating. Verbs like generate. I'm creating a business plan for my business. I need you to help me generate the business plan, section by section. These are the sections that I'll need in my business plan. I want short paragraphs and bullet points. For the sections that require charts. I want this to be completely professional so I can use it for a bank loan. So that's the first part. In here, you can also add the persona at the end. Take on the persona as I write content as a bank loan officer. So now you gave it the whole prompt. But oftentimes we don't take on that before we hit enter. You have to give it everything. Now, what it creates for you the first time around in your business plan, you said as your outline. Everything else, thank you for this wonderful outline. I will now like to do each section one at a time. I want every section to be at least 2,000 characters, 3,000 characters. Like you really have to get that specific, or you need some short one-liners. So you want to give it. So you want to do by grade writing. I may keep like we got the RFP for a grade. I got it from Tawana. I took the application, dropped it into there. It was like, here's the application. This is the focus for this grade. Now that I got the full RFP this morning, I'll go in and do section by section by section.
Is it kind of like, remember the old school, we used to write in English class?
The outline?
Yeah, the webbing, when you make the circle.
It's just like, it's just like grant writing, business proposals, project proposals. It's the same thing. Do not do anything without an outline. I promise you, the results will be 10 times better if you do an outline. Even for this presentation, after I talked, I said, this is what they want to cover. Give me an outline. And I was like, I don't like that. Sorry. I said, I want to make sure this is here. Great. All right, then let's break out section by section for each slide. Then I dropped it in there. Am I missing anything? They said, yeah, but put it in the handout. So that's why the handout is longer. So those are things to think about. So, here's another example. Write an elevator speech about my business. Versus generate a concise, impactful 30-second elevator speech for sustainable. Like again, versus elevator speech, here's the whole thing. So give you examples of why oftentimes when you use AI, you don't get the result that you want. Because you don't give enough information. And then when you get done, you look for something. This is what I drafted. I'm in a pitch competition. Take on the persona as one of the judges. How does this sound? So you don't always have to put the persona up front. You can do it after you create it. And then say, this is what I created. Take on the persona of the person who's going to give whatever you created. Or take on the persona of my client or my customer. So, I'm going to skip this one because I want to get to the prompts. So, GPTs. I am a fan of GPTs. Only because what I've learned with a lot of these TikTok stars and Instagram stars is that they have built their business on getting you to come to the door, sign up for their class, building their own GPTs, and charging you a monthly subscription to use it. I said, that makes sense. I said, so you tell me they built a proprietary GPT to do what I could build myself, but I just don't have time to do it. And I'm gonna pay you $50 a month to have access to free ones, open source in ChatGPT. You can click on in ChatGPT, it says GPTs, and you can click on search and type in what kind of GPT you're looking for. There's ones for business plans, there's ones to change your headshot. Like, they'll ask you to upload about 5 or 6 headshots, and they'll make you a headshot. It's a GPT for everything up there.
So help me understand, thank you, because this is my first time hearing that GPT is separate from ChatGPT. But GPT is the core of AI. So generative pre-trained transformer is what AI does.
GPT, most GPTs are very specific. So chat is like the whole Walmart.
Okay,
But maybe I really want to go to YouTube.
okay.
And so I may build a GPT for building out my RFPs or writing grants, or I build a GPT for my blog.
That way, our strategy and innovation, we can input into the generative and then create our app and get membership.
Yep. That's correct. Exactly.
Okay.
So, preparing to build your bot. So, for those who have ChatGPT Plus already, which is the paid version, not the free, this is your thoughts that you can write down now. If you want to build out your own GPT, what would you build it out for? So, for me, I built mine because you can build one to write contracts for you. You can build a GPT to write proposals for you. You can build a GPT to build curriculum. So think about what you do that you do so much of that a GPT can help you crank it out quicker.
But even doing our initial consultation, create my initial consultation.
Yeah. So I don't have a GPT for it, but I created a template for intaking people who want to do keynotes and trainings. So I have a template. I drop in their form that they'll fill out the Calendly form, and then I have it create my template, and I send it and say, hey, prepare for our meeting, this is what you need to have. So it's not a full GPT, but I could build it out if I wanted to. But the 2 GPTs I have is one for CUL, for grant writing, and then I have one for RFPs for my business.
Okay. So for e-commerce business, one of my pain points, I got plenty of them because there's so much in e-commerce, but my email marketing. So I use Klaviyo, which is a whole complex email marketing system. And cranking out emails and all the flows that go like with, flows that go with it. So chat has helped me create all like the different flows that go into Klaviyo, but just cranking out emails or campaigns, like email campaigns. So chat did a 60-day email marketing calendar for me. So I can take from that calendar and put that in and have them based off this product crank out or like, create email template or emails for each like these products that go out like through Klaviyo. That how you like.
Yeah, I think if you're using Klaviyo, I think what you're missing is that automation piece that will crank out the email for you.
Well, you still have to write the campaign. So the flows are different. So you have the flows, that's like for your welcome series, abandoned cart,
Are you still writing each email yourself though?
I mean, I'm not using Klaviyo's generic templates because I want to personalize them. So I have ChatGPT, like, cause you can like, even like within, say for example, a welcome series, you can have 10 emails timed out just on a welcome series. But that's different from flows because the trigger for that is if somebody's on your website and they sign up here. It's all of the things that go for Klaviyo. I'm just talking about a campaign.
So I'm gonna show you what I learned job forms embedded bot, because that may be a step down from what you need, but can also help in responding. Because one of the things they have in the chat box, in the chat for job form is being able to respond to questions to your customers.
That I want on the website.
Yes.
Now that's what will be key, because that takes away the FAQ.
But it also has where it can respond to email.
Oh, so that would be great, because I
Yeah. So I'm gonna show you that. What did I click on? What just happened? Okay.
Can I answer that first, or would I get too much right now?
No, go ahead, because I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
Okay, so
Here.
you know how you added to the facts and all that, but you know how you do the email or the text? Could we create GPTs for those automatic
Yes.
fast text responses.
Yes.
And Clayville has it where you can send out your SMS and email all within the same, it just goes out separate.
I cannot remember.
Like when you're responding, they respond, how you say,
Clay is a K.
KLV, all you're saying is, download it, as you say.
Yeah.
So,
It's a very robust, but like major brands use Clayville because of the logo. This is how you spell it.
okay, oh, well, I went back that, no, I
Yes, it's, it's KLABIYO.
Where did I put my phone? I
So
put
that
it
was
somewhere.
for access management of this.
It's really built to me for e-commerce business. But you can use it for other things.
Oh, yes.
You can, but it has other ones too, 'cause I was on constant contact for email marketing for e-commerce business doesn't have the flows and stuff. They're building it out, but it's nowhere near like Clayville.
So you don't like constant contact?
I literally just unsubscribed after 8 years of constant contact.
I've heard, that's the most common one suggested.
It's not for e-commerce though.
Got it.
It's not, you need more robust things for e-commerce than Clayville.
It says not for e-commerce.
They, you can use it, but they're, like, just say for example, you want somebody like you want a website or some clothes, sign up for their emails. And this will get like their coupon or whatever their thing is, and you go into a whole series. If you start looking at a product and you put it in a cart, you will get another email for a banned cart.
Yes, I'm just putting up my password right here. Okay.
It'll send you an email to trigger it.
Yeah, constant contact is like APL campaign.
Yeah, it's not, right.
Yeah, I'm sorry for my lecture learner, but I need something easy, there's not much.
Girl, me, you are 5, 10, 11. Yeah, I do 9 to 13. 10, I'm just trying to, all the shoes are 6, 7, and 8. So, yeah, that, I take it for, I like to get my shoes. Oh, thank you, here. I have baby sent things I never know they don't come to you guys.
That's because you're from a different country, right?
I don't normally answer to you. This is just written out.
And network business that we're.
You got to go.
LinkedIn, okay.
And I have a car. The way my name is spelled, a lot of people, it's the website. When I, like I was in Atlanta for the shoe show, like all those vendors, they want cars. Oh, they want cars. They still old school.
Yeah, I think we're here. I like them both, but you know, I'm old school. I like them both.
But I ride it.
Hello, sir. Oh, you did.
Waiting here.
No, I'm about to walk you all through. All right. How many of you all have the how many of y'all have the Pro Chat GPT? Anybody have the Pro Chat GPT? Okay, so I'm gonna show the job form virtual assistant first, and then I'll walk y'all through the GPT. So, I don't want to do conversations. So this is the AR builder for JotForm. Like I said, it's free once you make your account. The thing I like about this one, I've also used JotForm to build an app for a company that I'm working with. You know how most companies have an intranet, so the back end of the organization. So I built their intranet, because they have Google on Google Sites, and I built their company app to match it using JotForm. Again, I try to use things that won't incur a lot of cost for businesses. And then I used Airtable to build out their org chart. So again, in using some of the things that are either free or low cost has been really helpful. The thing I like about the virtual assistant is that building out this wasn't hard. I had ChatGPT open on one screen, and I literally did this last night. And so you have a couple ways to build out your chat. They have the standalone chat here. You can do a complete chat box option here. Let's see if I can get down here. So that shows it, what it would look like on the chat box. You can do Gmail, so going to your question about responding. It can respond to your emails. If you build it out and give it enough content, it can respond to emails. And then I hooked it up to my Instagram because I just made my business Instagram and I do not plan to respond to everything. And so I also built it for my Dr. E Speaks Instagram. So it's a couple ways you can use this one bot that you build for all these different ones. My favorite one, presentations. Let's say that somebody wants me to present on something. And I don't want to do the voiceover. I can build out the presentation here using AI, and it'll do the voiceover. Again, now I do plan to use this weekend, so follow up with me. I'll let you know how I like it. But there, on the JotForm main page, there is a demo using it, so it walks you through what it looks like. It is pretty snazzy. It can also serve as voice, so you can JotForm offers the ability to buy a telephone number, so it can be your assistant and pick up the phone. So that's the option here for that one. And then you have, voice is the virtual assistant, and they have the phone, phone is the one that they have here. It'll pick up the phone. If you give it enough prompts, it can be your person. Text messages are here. I did not get that far, but it says you have to buy it. It says get a phone number. I think it's like $10. So yeah. No, not from what I can tell. I wish it would, because I have Google Voice. I bought my Google Voice number for my business. I wish it could, but from what it says buy. It doesn't have a integrate as an option for the phone. WhatsApp is up here. Your phone number. And then you have Messenger. So when I decided to just go for the plain standalone, I was like, well, what do I have to do to build this whole thing out? These are all the channels that you can use for building one bot. So you don't have to have 5 bots for all of this. this one by Angela, hey girl, is gonna be my person for all these channels that I just showed you.
So she will be your assistant for all of this.
For all of these, whether it's standalone, chat, Gmail, Instagram, Angela is my girl.
Talk about how companies that use her work.
And I'm about to walk you through how I built her out. So, let's train her. So the first thing, well, let me go back. First thing is who I want to be my person. You go over here to the little roller. There's a whole gallery of people that you can choose as far as avatars. There are some options up here, as you can see, but I didn't want to choose what they had. I wanted to generate my own, so I did. So the first iteration of this, I generated here, but I wanted to add some pieces, so I took the picture that it created, I snagged it, dropped it into chat, and said, I want my EIS pen to be bedazzled. I couldn't get it to bedazzle up here. I know, I'm being vain, leave me alone. I wanted the pen, again, it's personality, because the pen it made up here was just a plain white pen, like a brooch pen, like it said EIS, and it had a pink outline. I was like, no, got to have personality, had to be bedazzled. I wanted her nails to look a little bit more coffin, then rounded again. So I took what, it built it nicely here for me, and then I did it in ChatGPT. Downloaded that picture. It can take the background off the picture you upload, because you can then also upload. So you can see I uploaded Angela, and then I went over here to the little pencil, and it took off the background to her. So again,
They got her nails?
chat got me together with the nails. And then my favorite is the face swap. So I uploaded my face so it has a resemblance to me. You also have style, you have different colors you can use here. Your start color, which is up here at the top part of the box. So I did a little shading, and my end colors, same color scheme, so you can really make it fit your color scheme for your business. And then my background that I have up here is I chose The Office. So this is free. Free. I don't have a paid version for JotForm for me. Now the company I'm working with has a HIPAA compliant one because they're a mental health company, but this is my free 99 version of JotForm.
That's great.
So first thing I did was this. Picked out my colors, picked out all my stuff. That was fun. The work came with training Angela, because now I need the content. And now, so what I did was, let's figure out her persona first. I chose Angela as her name. Gave her a role as my virtual assistant. Default, you can do, and then again, you have multiple languages to choose from, so it doesn't have to be English.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So your choices are, it's a long list. You got a lot of choices. I ain't got that far yet. I did this last night, so y'all gonna have to call me. I wanted to do something for those who didn't have the pro, and this was the best option because this is free. Here, and then my tone, you only have 3 choices for tone: casual, professional, friendly. So you can choose your tone, and then from there, you can choose your response length for your conversation. So for chats, I want it to be long, talk to them. For voice, I got it kind of shorter, and then for email, I got it long. So now, you can figure out how long you want your responses to be for your basic email. Now,
your voice.
So here's my email guidelines. Assist user in exploring my services and resources. Provide tailored guidance for strategic planning and leadership. So you can now put it here, but I don't know what I want to put here. All right, chat, I'm doing this in JotForm. Can you help me put the stuff together? I literally had this going on my other screen. I snagged the picture and I said, help me fill this out for my AI. And I actually asked chat, and he, how do I do this? Like, what do I need a good AI bot for EIS for the website? So chat gave me the idea. I chose this one. I literally took a whole picture of all the options, and then chat helped me walk it through it. I'm in my chat right now, so you can kind of see me go through putting all the questions and stuff in here. So anything that you see that you see up here that has any type of narrative or response is ChatGPT helping me fill this out. So all of this is done. Now, let's build out the knowledge base. Now, the thing I love about knowledge base is one, I'm able to connect a couple things. So I just launched a book. I did a book chapter in the Brave Women at Work. So I put the Instagram launch on that. I did the podcast, and then here is my overview of my business. So this is just a narrative. So this is, I said, chat, give me an overview. You get 10,000 characters. You can put as much as you want up here. This is the whole book chapter. Everything can go up here about your business. What you want, how you want it, what you don't want. And again, I didn't even get close to 5,000 characters. So that is everything up here. So that's my knowledge base. I also went in under my knowledge base and I started, you can also, as you can see, you have options. If you already have something typed out, upload your file. You can put URLs, so you'll see my links in my Canva. You'll see the Q&A, I'll get to that in a second. So everything that you got, you can pour it in here. So now you need somebody to respond to those emails, man. There you go. Copies of email responses. Those are things that you can put in here to now build your bot. That's the one thing I love about this. I was like, wait a minute, I ain't have time, but I could have put so much in here to do my responding.
So can those, you have a way to have those to be integrated with like something else that you have to be able to, okay, sorry,
No. This was me last night. I was like, what? So, actions. When a user wants grant writing or funding help, send them to my link to fill out my form.
yeah.
This is it. So now, here you go. And I was like, well, how do I do this, chat? Because I don't know, because when you get to a new action, it's asking you what kind of channel, when something happens, a conversation starts, user wants to, you can choose. So I said, chat, I said, these are all my options. Help me. Now, it had a whole lot more I could have copied and made, but again, I just wanted to get y'all started. And then when they ask this question, what do you want to do? Fill a form, show a button, always include. So now, while it may take some legwork for you, some of these things you're doing, you can bid out every single response to every type of question coming in.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of think about it.
You got to process it, but you got enough emails to pull that.
So even a quick question in regards to like you had on there like social media like Instagram.
Oh yeah, I all my stuff connected up here.
So thinking, I know you heard of ManyChat. Okay, so how does that work?
I ain't even got,
You prefer Jot over ManyChat?
Only because again, when I'm looking at, I can go into things I build into in my job form. So my application is up here, my timesheet for my consultants is up here. So if I built out all my forms instead of using Google Form, or even though I had Google Form, I can still connect it up here. And that's the thing, you try to connect as much information to one hub. And I'm trying not to get to the point where I have so many different platforms that I can't connect. That's what I learned the hard way when I was starting off with my sister. We had so many different things. I'm trying to choose one adventure and stick to it. Now, obviously there'll be better stuff coming out, but at this point, JobForm has not done me wrong, and it's been really helpful for one of my contracts with this mental health company. I literally built their entire platform using just their Google Workspace that they already had and JobForm. That's it. And it's HIPAA compliant. So they paid for the HIPAA compliant version. So I like to look at things that give me the best bang for my buck, whether it's free or low cost. And so for this, when I started getting into the tools, these are other tools that you can now integrate. So some of y'all already have some of this already. You have, you can send the WhatsApp message. Now you get to go in here and run it. You can annotate a picture, you can collect donations, you can create a ticket in Freshdesk, you can take notes. I already connected my Calendly up here. So now this is where my Shopify person at? Shopify, you already got one connected up here. They start asking questions about what they can buy, Shopify, connected. So I've already connected things that I have access to. And look how many runs. It's gonna tell you how many times it's been running. Show list of items, set appointment. I did Calendly, you got forms. Allow your agent to display a form, so that's where you can probably do your Google Forms here.
Yeah, so JotForm.
Send to your Google Drive, trigger a workflow, get consent, collect payments, collect signature.
Jeez, we can even do DocuSign, that's great.
I'm trying to tell y'all, and it's still free $99. Now, let's get to some of the other things. So let's get to, I don't have any forms in here, but let's say I already had forms that I wanted to connect. I could go into add new form, all my job forms that I do have. So I have a general inquiry contact form, my application. So I got stuff up, the stuff that you build in job form can be connected up here. There were other things in the knowledge base that I had. So let's get to, I do a lot of keynotes. So I dropped my keynote playlist up here at the top. I dropped some of my interviews, the one I did for Walden Leadership Advice from the C-Suite. I can put all my keynotes. I want all that information about who I am to be part of when they respond. And then now I can teach my agent by simply talking. Now I can start testing her out. It's truly a joy to connect with you now. What services does she offer? So now it's going to talk about all that I offer.
So everything you put in there is going back and thinking about that.
Everything. If you like, I can also guide you on how to get started or provide specific links for booking or consultations. So
Is there ever a time when that is not free anymore, when you've met something and you're at the capacity?
the only way that this gets better is if I have a person that's doing this, that's constantly in my inbox, constantly doing this response. So that's $25, $30 an hour for an assistant, or let me spend 2 hours building this out.
Exactly. And what I love about it is they probably will. That's what most of them
Yeah, I mean, there has to be
So about 3
something
years,
that-
they would build their database.
Mhm.
But right now, you just use it till the wheels fall off. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Once they get me good, then they're gonna charge. It's like the Google number used to be free.
Yeah, Google Voice is still free, but not in Workspace.
Oh, not in Word.
It's not free in Workspace, you have to buy it. So when I first got my business, I just used my free, like I got like 5 Gmails. I used one of my free Gmails, Google Voice number, but eventually I said, let me just go ahead and buy it, and it's like $10. So, but again,
What's the benefits of buying it? Is there anything extra perks?
it's easy because everything's in my one
That's
workspace.
it, the convenience of.
Again, I don't want to be like, well, which email did I use for this? Again, I can tie everything together. Now, again, when you publish it, there's a couple ways you can do it. I plan to put this on my website. You can see whichever one you want to download has its own separate download and code to go with it. So for those who want to put it on their website, they also have, for the standalone bot, for the chat box, they have different layouts that you can choose. When I say, for me, I'm all about how can I build something that's useful. Like literally, I'm going into Wix later after I finish building this out some more, and I'm going to drop and embed this on my Wix. It's almost good to go. There's some more stuff I need to add up here to refine, but it's good to go.
So
And
you create that embedded code?
Yep. It's literally copy and paste over. And so this is like if it was on my site, the chat box would come up just like this.
So once you link, oh,
So this is a preview. So this is what it looks like on desktop. This is what it looks like on a tablet, and this is what it looks like on a mobile.
so you just integrate because Franklin does that for you. Of course, it's an upcharge, but I wonder if I can integrate this on my current.
Yes, you can. So you want it as a standalone here. This is what it's going to look like in preview. If you want it in your Instagram, it's going to show you what's going to look like in Instagram.
So we just got to connect the accounts.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. I already connected my Instagram. The codes are already there for you. So when you're ready to publish it and get it out there, here's the embed on your site code. You see?
Oh, yes.
So all that's there. For standalone, you have a couple more options for how you want to embed it. Your style is here. Page, chatbot, WordPress, Lightbox, or pop-up, and you can customize the code or whatever. So you have options. And as a non-coding person, anything I can copy and paste makes it easier for me.
It does.
And check and check.
They do the code for you.
Yeah, I literally said, chat now, what do I do for this? What do I put here? It's a whole thing in my chat where it was telling me how to build it out. Now, for those who have interest, I know we're out of time. If you want to build a GPT, I will, before y'all send an email, let me send you the YouTube video I used to build mine. When I say it is step by step,
just follow.
Just like I showed you how I use chat to build out my job form AI, that's what I use to build out my my GPT. It's the same back end when you get to it. So when you build it out, you want to configure. All these things is what I put into chat GPT to help do my GPT. So it looks very similar to what y'all just saw on job form, nothing different.
So what's this under? This is under.
So you have to have the paid version of ChatGPT to build your GPT. So let's say, let me see. I want to, let's say I found the RFP. Let me go back. I already updated. Go
So
back.
the person who created that app there's really an app, like.
So job form?
Yeah, the one that.
Job form is a whole platform. They do surveys and all of that. It's a whole bunch of stuff up there. But this is my GPT. So this is my GPT I built to be my application RFP assistant. So let me find an RFP right quick. And I'm literally gonna drop it in here. Let's see.
Now you can convert this to your app.
Grant writing, RFP. Let's see if I can find one for free. So here it is. Here's a PDF. So here's an RFP for grant writing.
Is this on how to write an RFP?
I'm about to show you how I write my RFP, so I don't have to do it by hand.
So you're making easy money now as opposed to 5 years.
Yeah, somewhat.
Working smart. Working smart.
Not harder. So I just downloaded the PDF onto Rosita's computer.
FYI.
I'm just gonna hit this plus. I'm gonna add the file. Again, only in the paid version, not in the free version. I'm gonna copy it here. I'm gonna do my favorite. Help me create my RFP for this RFP I've attached in the PDF. Include each section, and if you have questions in order to complete a section, please let me know. But let's just start off with the outline first.
That is your best friend.
Listen, like sweet tea on a hot summer day. All right, so I just dropped the PDF in here. And I have one for you all for CUL. My CUL, I have a separate chat for you all. And I built the GPT for grants. Here's my entire proposal outline.
Wow, yes.
And it's dope. It already has my tagline, excellence for every endeavor. So it's already put here. And so you can see my GPT is gonna start me out. So let me get back up here.
So Department of Labor have the article for the 30 million that's just been released.
It says, so it just gave me the whole outline based off of what's required for that contract. So the contract says I have to have team composition, cost proposal, compliance, certifications, dependencies, 11 things is required. Now it's, my GPT is saying, let's start with the executive summary. Yes. It's gonna draft my executive summary.
So how do you do that so you don't, it's not like this?
It's my GPT, I built it. So just like I showed you all the AI bot that I built, that back end, when I say it looks almost exactly like this, that job form back end of when it says, tell me, put all your information here, upload all these documents, the GPT is the same way.
And that's awesome. So
It's still your information. So my back end of my GPT, if I pull it up, what you're gonna see is that it's gonna look similar to what you just saw on job form.
So did you say you were gonna show us how to build our own?
This is it. I'm showing you now because it's the same information, but this is not free. You have to have the paid version. So yeah, so you'll pull it up and then just like you see your instructions. So the AI said, tell me about your business. This is the instructions. Now you're telling the GPT what you want it to do. I want you to write my RFP. And so everything in this little box right here is everything that's required in here. And then I get down to the bottom Same type of questions. Here's my capability statement. Here's all my stuff similar to what I just did over in job form.
Oh, you uploaded all
Everything
everything.
in the kitchen sink. But this is shorter. This took me less than an hour. Job form, I was up there for about 2 hours and some change, and I'm still not done.
But it's detailed though.
More detailed there. And I still can go back into RFP and add my pieces in there, which I do. But to start me out, this is what I built. This is it. This is all you have on the back end of GPT.
But of course,
You see-
you gotta have your, you gotta know.
You gotta have your stuff
you
together.
know what you're doing, that's why you know how to do it. So.
Hold on 1 second. Ooh. Please don't. You had a question?
Okay, so this is amazing in terms of what it does and how it can create a shortcut. The wonderful thing that you've already done, like you said, is that you've already put the information and you've been working it and understands who you are. What I want to speak on, I guess my question is that for those that are starting from scratch, and you are, a small business owner that has not learned your language, how you want to speak to it, does not have the information, typically we'll create in a business plan or executive summary last, so that they still are working on getting the information and getting the data to actually build out their business plan. Whereas when you're doing it section by section, if you just said the executive plan is first, that technically would be so.
Yes. The executive summary for RFP is the overview of what you plan to pitch.
Right.
So for new business owners, and let me say this,
I'll speak to that part though, right? Because everybody wants a shortcut, but they don't understand.
the build out forward.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have everything that I have here, you can still build your GPT. Because you can update it as you get more information. So some of these documents is not a PDF. Anything that says document, EIS, RFP, knowledge guide, overview of EIS, that is me in ChatGPT asking what I can upload to make this more robust and putting it into a Word document and uploading it.
You can even ask ChatGPT, I wanna build a GPT for this, please give me step by step.
Because again, and then with your snippet or snag it, whatever your computer calls it, just snip the picture and then drop it in there and say, this is what's required. Help me do each section.
Then you can build.
Or talk it out and say, it says, give me conversation starters. What kind of conversations would I need to put for my GPT? I didn't have a clue what to put here. Chat gave me my conversation starters. So again, I don't want y'all to think that I knew what I was doing. I literally watched the video and it was like, now you need to do this part. And I was like, well, what did I put here? And so I asked it to help me.
Yeah, the more you put the information in there, it would learn you, it would know you. So I would just start on casually.
That wasn't the question. I'm trying to say like, that's not it. I just.
Yeah, I understand what the question I was adding to the conversation for its own. But
No,
it
but
didn't-
you were looking at me in terms
I mean,
of,
because I
I
was-
was trying to get clarity on, the clarity was just for people that's just
Starting.
starting, that are doing business plans to try to figure out, like, when you're doing the order of a business plan, that comes last, the information they need to already have and understand the data before it gets to the executive summary.
One of the things the lady shared
Sorry,
Monday,
Sam. The man finish you.
hold on y'all. But one of the things that the lady shared on Monday from Huntington Bank about business plans, each bank will require something different. So, because that was a hot topic Monday. Some said, well, my business plan is 30 pages. And the lady was like, well, I've seen some that was 3, and all of us was like 3 pages, but then their appendices had all the other stuff to it. So just be mindful of business plans are going to be relative to the type of business and who you're going to talk to. I will say that oftentimes we get so stuck on trying to get everything done that we don't get anything done. And if you have the idea, start with the idea and start with the most basic business plan. That's what they're here for. When I started EIS, my contracts came before I had a business plan. I'm still finishing my business plan. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. I literally am building my ship as I go. I don't want y'all to think that I have all my stuff done. My business plan is almost done. My website is almost done. I just hit a year. So, but I'm using technology to help me build it and go. I'm not gonna turn that on contract just because I ain't got my business plan done. So I wanted to be real honest with you all, because a lot of times when I've been in your seat, these people up front teaching already been doing it for 5, 10, 15 years. No, I just hit a year last month.
Exactly.
I'm still building everything out. Yeah, and so and one thing they'll tell you, I'm a sharer. So if y'all reach out to me, I will respond. And I don't mind sharing this. I have templates for business plans. I already have templates and stuff that I've created. So I think a lot of times for some of this, for the AI, it's like, well, I don't even know where to start. I got everything in the folder. I'll be adding some more up there. So don't lose that that Google Drive folder. Don't lose it, because I will keep dropping stuff up there for you all. Save it as a favorite. If you have comments and you're in Google Workspace, send me a chat. I'll see it come through. Use technology. One thing I've been very blessed is have people pour into me, and it's my job to make sure I pour it back out freely.
So beautiful.
So let me get to that. It's on the PowerPoint, but one of the things I want to share is, one, if y'all have questions, they know how to get me. And y'all like, I was trying to find Dr. E and I couldn't find her. Well, they know how to get me. Like, they call me today, like, where you at, girl? So here's my contact information. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm not on Twitter no more. I'm on TikTok. I'm everywhere. You can find me. And look, just make sure it says Shantae and not Sheree, because we do look just alike. But if y'all have questions, and I know you said you have the Chat GPT Plus already, and you want to make your GPT, let's talk. Let's get on. Yes, I'm gonna send a YouTube video. I got it from it was a statewide. Ohio had for women business owners, they had a webinar. So I went to the webinar and watched it. And then they sent out the PowerPoint and the video. So I have the link for it. I'll send the PowerPoint and the video.
So, and you said I scanned all the QR codes.
Oh, you scanned all the?
File that you have?
Yes, so the Google Drive right here.
Oh, that one.
That has 2 folders in there. It has the first, in the Google Drive, you have a whole folder for just the grant writing. So how to write the grants. I have all the tips that I gave at the last grant writing. It has AI prompts in there. It has templates on how to use when you do your grant writing proposal. That's in there. All that's in there. And then the bottom row is today.
There's a grant I need to write, and this due the end of the month.
Oh yeah, so that you're gonna love that drive.
Okay.
Everything's in there. So if there's something that you like, I need it, before you buy it, just ask, because I promise you, if I don't have it, my sister has it, or some of my mentors have it, who's been in business a lot longer. And they don't ever not give me something that I need. So before you create it or buy it, let me know. But the capability statement template, I'll add that up there. I just thought I should add that up there for you all. I know y'all have some over there too, but just giving you all some things that can be helpful. But to create it, I use AI to help create everything that y'all saw today, including using Gamma.
And you started with AI at Ground Zero, right?
And I did.
So let me ask you a question. Do you work for Columbus Urban League?
Yeah, I'm one of their contractors. Yes, so I'm their grant writer.
Oh, you're a contractor.
Yes.
But you EIS.
Yes, I am.
Okay, but they're
What is it? E, all the above. Yeah. Yes. And I just went through their Accelerate Her program. They was like, Doctor, you should go through this program because you don't have a business plan. Well, that's the nice way. Andrea didn't say that nicely to me, but I didn't have a business plan. I didn't have nothing. I've been writing grants for 20 years.
I want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Thorough. 2 hours. I go to AI workshop for free. That's my hobby right now, just learning and growing. The engagement, your spirit, the learning, the retention, you simplify what is so complicated. People do this not pay $99.
I would not.
You know,
I went to, and I've bought, and again, the other thing is I bought ChatGPT prompts. Don't do it.
create your own.
And again, it was helpful early on, but they are some of the worst prompts I've ever seen. So just be mindful of people just taking advantage of saying, I got 100,000 prompts, I got 10,000 prompts, and those prompts are not worth $1. If I showed you some of the ones I bought early on, you would be like,
Girl, listen.
and I did. I bought them because I was like, it's going to help me. And then I got it and I was like, this is not good. But what I am doing, and I'm going to have an intern, is take those same prompts and actually make them better. So that's why I say stay in the Google Drive, because I have an intern that I'm working with that's just going to take them and put them in the right prompt format. So you'll have 10,000 prompts. It's just going to take some time to do it. So I bought it. I paid the money for it. Let me refine it and make it better. So yeah, and I don't mind sharing those things. So again, what I've learned is that people can make it seem like a good product, but it's not. You're welcome. And so
You work for the Urban League, so you're like a service we can use through MBAC.
So yes and no. So my service through MBAC is coming in to do training, and so one of the things that I'm working on with them is how to offer low cost grant writing for you all. with my team. So
Oh,
yes, or training. So any training I do is for free. But I know some of the people who came to the grant writing was like, I don't want to write them. Can we just hire you? So I've been working to hire people who are good at grant writing, but not at my price point. So that way y'all can get a good grant writer who is not going to take advantage of you all.
And you do it for nonprofit and for-profit businesses? Because my thing is for-profit, fine, I mean.
It's harder.
Getting all these loans.
It's hard. It's hard to get. I would say the amount of for-profit loans grants, is not that many. Oh, do I need to cut this off, Rosita? I am. I was asking her, answering a question. Okay, so thank y'all for joining online. Please let me know if y'all have questions. And if y'all have questions, send me a direct message or just contact them. They know how to find me. I don't know why I changed the name. It just, last night I was sitting up working on this and it was, really?